A man is dead, a freeway is shut, and 13 new large fires ignited across America today alone. Jason Ensign was a 47-year-old dozer operator from Klamath Falls, Oregon. He was killed yesterday, Thursday, August 6th, when a wildfire outran his escape route. He was building a fire line on the Wrights Spring Fire in Klamath County when conditions exploded without warning and cut him off. Rescue teams found him hours later inside an extensively damaged Caterpillar D6 dozer. He did not make it out. Jason Ensign is the reason every number in this video matters, because behind every acre and every percentage is a person doing an impossibly dangerous job. Today, August 7th, 2026, is one of the worst single days of this fire season, and the data backs that up completely. 95 large fires burning uncontained, 13 new large incidents in one day, nearly 50,000 new acres gone since yesterday morning. Every number you hear in this video comes directly from the NIFC, IMSR, NC Web, and official government sources. Let's get into it. Here is how today unfolded. And I want to tell it the way it actually happened, starting with what hit first and what escalated throughout the day. Early Friday afternoon, a fire ignited near Gorman Post Road in Gorman, California, just north of Los Angeles near the Kern County line, confirmed by CAL FIRE and the LA County Fire Department. Within 90 minutes, the Ridge Fire had jumped the I-5 freeway. Both directions shut down through the Grapevine, one of the most traveled freight corridors in the United States. At its peak, the Ridge Fire was tracking toward 1,000 acres with an evacuation order covering Hungry Valley and warnings extending into adjacent zones in both LA and Kern counties. By 8 p.m., the California Highway Patrol confirmed the I-5 had reopened, but the evacuation orders and warnings from the Ridge Fire remain active as of this broadcast. While all of that was happening in Southern California, Oregon was already deep into its own crisis. 5 new fires confirmed in the state's federal incident report today alone. The Wrights Spring Fire near Chelan erupted overnight and reached 8,722 acres by Friday morning. 0% contained, extreme fire behavior. Governor Tina Kotek invoked the Emergency Conflagration Act for the Wrights Spring Fire this morning. The 12th time Oregon has triggered this emergency tool in the 2026 season. The Emergency Conflagration Act allows Oregon to deploy state firefighting resources immediately, cutting through normal procurement. The Oregon Green IMT and 6 structural task forces are now mobilizing. Level 3 Go Now evacuations cover 10 zones around Sprague River Road east of Chelan and the community of Sprague River itself. Residents were notified door to door. It was on the Wrights Spring Fire's line that Jason Ensign was killed, operating a dozer in the Yahwee Plateau area when the fire made an unexpected run and cut off his escape path. The Klamath County Sheriff confirmed his death. The Oregon Department of Forestry has launched an investigation into the circumstances. Our thoughts are with Jason's family, friends, and crew. Now, I need to show you what else was happening in Oregon today, because this state is carrying a fire load right now that would be extraordinary in any year. The hidden forest fire started at 8:54 this morning near Forest Road 18, about 12 miles southeast of Bend in Deschutes County. By 5:30 this afternoon, it had grown to 297 acres aerial retardant, large air tankers, seats, scoopers, and 150-plus ground personnel hit it immediately. A Level 3 Go Now evacuation applies to the Arnold Ice Cave area along Forest Service Road 18, a popular recreation corridor that is now an active fire zone. The Cottonwood Fire appeared in today's federal report for the first time. 300 acres, 15 miles southwest of Long Creek, 0% contained, evacuations in effect. The Woodrat Mountain Fire near Jacksonville in Jackson County is also new to the IMSR. 300 acres, group torching, spotting, and structures threatened. And then there is the Big Grass Fire. And this number is the one that I cannot stop thinking about from today's National Situation Report. 390,900 acres. That is the Big Grass Fire as of this morning, and it grew by 31,989 acres in a single day. 32,000 acres in one day. That is the largest single-day growth of any fire in today's entire national report. Wind-driven runs, spotting, and active fire behavior drove every acre of it. Big Grass is now Oregon's largest currently active fire. It has overtaken the Roe Creek complex, which checks in at 354,842 acres, 64% contained. The Grasshopper Fire near Sportsman Park grew nearly 4,000 acres to 43,244 acres, 23% contained, structures and infrastructure threatened. Oregon has now surpassed 2 million acres burned in this calendar year, a state record, and is adding new fires faster than any other geographic area in the country today. Let's move into Washington state because the Little Giant Fire in Chelan County has been burning for days with nearly no containment, and the behavior just got worse. 77,509 acres as of this morning, up 3,225 from yesterday, and the IMSR describes the current behavior as extreme. Extreme. With 1% containment, 1,687 personnel on scene, 1,824 structures in the threat zone. Here is the detail about this fire that makes it different from almost anything else burning right now. A 445-acre spot fire has jumped Lake Chelan and is burning on the opposite shore. Embers from the main fire crossed an entire lake and started a new fire on the other side. That tells you exactly what the winds are doing and exactly why containment is stuck at 1%. The Three Queens Fire near Snoqualmie Pass is Washington's most urgent new development today. It started in this morning's report at 500 acres and grew to 883 acres by afternoon. Level 3 go now. Evacuation orders cover all cabins and camp areas around Cooper Lake, and a separate spot fire has already established on the east side of Lake Catchess nearby. 2 more new Washington fires in today's IMSR. The High Lava Fire near Stabler in Gifford-Pinchot National Forest at 409 acres, and the Grand Park 2 fire at 200 acres north of Mount Rainier National Park. The Sinlahecan Fire near Tonasket escalated to extreme behavior today. 126,807 acres, short crown runs and group torching now confirmed. Washington's Kaiser Canyon Fire improved. 136,978 acres, 53% contained, up from 43 yesterday, but 47 structures have now been confirmed destroyed. Montana opened 4 new large fire fronts today, all 0% contained, all driven by wind, all in grass and timber fuel that carries fire faster than most people expect. Big Buffalo near Circle is the largest at 1,500 acres, grass fuel, wind-driven runs, active spotting. Fuller's Coulee, 30 miles north of Circle, is 400 acres with the same behavior. 2 grass fires that close to the same community in one day is not a coincidence. It is what happens when the heat dome spreads north into the Rockies and the fuel dries to critical levels. Slough Grass near Colstrip and Black Bear near Hamilton round out Montana's new fire day, all at 0 containment, all confirmed in the federal IMSR. Colorado added 2 new incidents. The 310 fire near Battlement Mesa in Garfield County hit 331 acres with extreme fire behavior, running and torching, evacuations already in effect. The Elk Fire near Lake City more than doubled since yesterday. 2,911 to 5,117 acres, 40% contained, numerous structures threatened. Now let's talk about the fire that is closest to rewriting history. The Widemouth 2 fire near Kanosh, Utah, which grew 12,283 acres overnight. The official IMSR figure this morning, 99,485 acres. 19% contained, and the IMSR has now upgraded its behavior to extreme. Extreme behavior on this fire means crowning. Fire running through the tops of trees faster than ground crews can track, combined with long-range spotting that starts new ignitions miles ahead of the main front. The Babylon Fire in San Juan County holds Utah's largest wildfire title this season at 107,189 acres. Widemouth 2 is 7,700 acres away from that number. At the pace this fire grew overnight, 12,000 acres while most of Utah was asleep, it could cross that threshold before tomorrow's report is published. And layered on top of that, NIFC issued a specific fuels and fire behavior advisory today for eastern Nevada and central Utah, the precise geography of the Widemouth 2 fire. And on top of that, a dry lightning threat map covering Ely, Piache, Cedar City, and St. George sits directly over the fire's perimeter as of tonight. Dry lightning, that is when a thunderstorm fires lightning, but the rain evaporates in the hot, dry air before it ever reaches the surface. The technical term is virga, pure ignition risk with no suppression. 632 personnel are working Widemouth 2. Evacuation orders and warnings remain active across Millard and Sevier counties. Call 435-261-3607 for fire information. Before we get to the weather, there is one more event from today that cannot go unmentioned, and it is still developing as of this broadcast. A Sikorsky S-64 Skycrane helicopter crashed at approximately 10 in the morning Friday near the Widemouth 2 fire in the Three Creeks Reservoir area southwest of Richfield, Utah, confirmed by the Federal Aviation Administration. 2 people were aboard. As of this broadcast, their conditions are unknown. Rescue teams could not immediately reach the crash site because of active fire conditions in the area. The National Transportation Safety Board and FAA will both investigate. Great Basin Incident Management Team 2 confirmed the helicopter was part of the Widemouth 2 firefighting operation. The crash ignited a secondary fire at the site. Governor Spencer Cox of Utah released a statement Friday saying, and we quote in part, "Wildland firefighting is among the most dangerous jobs in the world. We will update this story the moment new information is confirmed from official sources." Now let's get to the weather picture driving all of this, because understanding the atmosphere right now explains why today was as dangerous as it was and why tomorrow may not be better. The entire western United States is sitting under an upper-level ridge, a heat dome that has been locked in place for days and shows no sign of breaking through August 11th or 12th. Per the NIFC Predictive Services discussion, daytime relative humidity is dropping to 3 to 15% across California, the Northwest, the Great Basin, Northern Rockies, West Slope, and Central High Plains. 3 to 15% humidity in timber, with 12 to 20 mile per hour winds gusting to 35, on fuels that have been drying for weeks without rain. That is the recipe for today's 32,000-acre single-day growth. Temperatures are forecast to exceed 100 degrees in the lower elevations of those same regions, peaking near 110 in inland California, the southern Great Basin, and western Arizona. And the detail that makes all of this worse, overnight recovery is described as poor. Humidity never bounces back. Fires stay active at 3 in the morning. Crews cannot safely close the gap even in darkness. The NIFC Predictive Services discussion also confirms isolated dry thunderstorms are possible across Southeast California, the southern Great Basin, and the southern Sierra, the same zone as Widemouth 2. Here is what is happening on the other side of the country right now, because the same atmospheric pattern that locks a heat dome over the west also feeds violence in the southern plains. As the west burns, Oklahoma City was being hit by severe storms Friday afternoon. A northern cell near Perry and Stillwater packing 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts moving south. The larger southern cell was targeting Edmond, Piedmont, and downtown OKC with 60 to 70-mile-per-hour gusts, the same locked upper-level pattern that bakes the west pump's instability into the plains. And then there is a story that connects everything: the fire, the drought, the heat, in a way that should be impossible to look away from. Lake Mead broke its all-time record low water level today, confirmed by the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation. The lowest the reservoir has been since it was filled in the 1930s. The previous record was set in July 2022. That record is now gone. Lake Powell is also approaching historic lows. Together, they serve 40 million Americans through the Colorado River Basin. Here is the connection that matters. The same drought that emptied these reservoirs is the same drought that has taken the moisture out of the timber and grass now burning across 5.6 million acres. This is not 2 separate stories. This is one crisis, a collapse of the water and fuel system that the western United States has depended on for a century, playing out simultaneously on 2 fronts. Now let's look forward, because what the models and official outlooks say about the next 5 days will determine whether the numbers in this video look small in hindsight. The NIFC monthly outlook is direct. No widespread wetting rain is expected for fire-affected areas of the West through September. That is not a forecast for next week. That is a seasonal projection. The heat dome does not break meaningfully through August 11th or 12th. No cold fronts for the Northwest, no precipitation for the Great Basin, no relief for the fire zones. The one area that could see moisture, the Mogollon Rim, southeast Arizona, southwest New Mexico, may get isolated wet thunderstorms on days 3 through 5. That is the zone where the monsoon and the heat dome overlap. It could help fires in southern Colorado and northern New Mexico, but those same storms carry the dry lightning risk on their edges. Alaska is also watching. The Tatlanika fire near Fairbanks grew 25,625 acres overnight, now at 28,168 total, 5% contained. Let me tell you the 5 things I am watching for the next 72 hours. 5 specific developments that will tell the story of whether this week gets worse or starts to stabilize. First, does Widemouth 2 cross the Babylon Fire's 107,000 acres and become Utah's largest wildfire of 2026? It is 7,000 acres away tonight. Second, does the Big Grass Fire, already at 390,000 acres and Oregon's largest active fire, continue growing toward 500,000 acres before containment catches up? Third, does Oregon's state total push through 2.5 million burned acres as the Wrights Spring, Cottonwood, Hidden Forest, and Woodrat fires all burn simultaneously with no rain coming? Fourth, does the Northern Rockies escalate to preparedness level 5? Montana opened 4 new large fires today at 0 containment. That region is showing the early signature of rapid escalation. Fifth, does dry lightning in Nevada and Utah tonight or tomorrow generate new large fire starts near existing incidents, adding ignitions to a system that is already stretched to maximum capacity? Here is what maximum capacity actually looks like. 30,132 firefighters deployed nationwide, the highest number at any point in this fire season. That includes international crews from Australia and New Zealand working fires in the Pacific Northwest. Because the United States has run out of sufficient domestic resources and had to call for allied support. 4 MFF's C-130 military air tankers are pre-positioned at Klamath Falls, Oregon, and Redding, California. The Air Force Reserve and California Air National Guard in direct support of civilian firefighting operations. 24 complex incident management teams are committed nationally, that is near the ceiling of what the federal system can field simultaneously. If you are anywhere near an active fire zone tonight, California, Oregon, Washington, Utah, Nevada, Montana, Colorado, this is the section of the video that is specifically for you. When a level 3 go now order is issued, you have minutes, not hours, before roads in fire communities become congested and the window to leave safely narrows fast. Your go bag should already be packed. Water for 3 days, medications, important documents, phone charger, cash, food, and everything your pets and livestock need. Know your route. Drive it once before you need it. When smoke fills a canyon and engines are blocking roads, you do not want to be looking at a map for the first time. Sign up for county-level emergency alerts. Wireless emergency alerts reach your phone automatically, but local systems can give you earlier warning and more specific geographic information. Do not fly drones near any active wildfire operation. 1 drone in the airspace grounds every air tanker, every helicopter, every water drop until that drone is gone. Lives depend on that airspace being clear. Check neighbors who may need help getting out, especially the elderly, anyone with mobility challenges, and anyone with horses or large animals who needs extra time. Official fire information, afc.gov, ncweb.wildfire.gov, weather.gov, and your local NWS office. For Widemouth 2 specifically, 435-261-3607. All data in this video comes from the NIFC IMSR dated August 7th, 2026, NCWeb official incident pages, CAL FIRE, Oregon State Fire Marshal, Bureau of Reclamation, and Klamath County Sheriff. The firefighter fatality information was confirmed by the Klamath County Sheriff's Office and OPB. It is attributed to official sources and reported with the weight that a human life deserves. Here is what August 7th, 2026 looks like when you lay it all out. A firefighter killed. A freeway shut down. Oregon's Emergency Conflagration Act triggered for the 12th time this season. 13 new large incidents in a single day, 95 fires uncontained, 50,000 new acres gone, Lake Mead at its lowest level since the 1930s, and no rain coming. The numbers in that sentence are not projections. Every one of them is confirmed, sourced, and on the record as of tonight. We will be here every day tracking the Widemouth 2 record, the Oregon escalation, the Montana situation, and the dry lightning threat through the weekend and into next week. Subscribe and turn on notifications. When something significant breaks on any of these fires, we will have a video ready for you the same day, sourced from official reports only. If this kind of verified sourced coverage is valuable to you, please share it. The people who most need this information are not always the ones who will find it on their own. To Jason Ensign's family and to every family of every firefighter working these lines tonight, thank you does not cover it, but we say it anyway. Stay safe out there.